Your Excellency, the fourth President of the Republic, Your Excellency, our wonderful, gracious First Lady, my colleagues from past service in government, the wonderful family of Professor Magoha, ladies and gentlemen. Your Excellency, we've been together with this family since you asked us last week. Immediately this happened, that we tried to step in and work with them to deal with what Professor was handling just before he passed away. So we had the opportunity to sit with Michael, Joseph and Dora to deal with the function that happened on Saturday, and now we're here. And for that, we sincerely thank you, Your Excellency. On behalf of my colleagues, many of them have sent messages of condolences. And Your Excellency, when you called us round, all of us who were in the country were in that meeting with Michael and with Joseph and Dora. Some have had to travel because of commitments. But I'm here today with my colleague, my sister, Professor Margaret Kobia, who served as a CS for Public Service. My brother, Ukuru Yatani, who served as the Lord Chancellor of the Exchequer. My brother, Peter Munya, who served as Cabinet Secretary for Agriculture. My friend, Joseph Musheru, who served as CS for ICT. And my brother, Eugene Wamalwa, who served as Minister for Defense, and who also represented all of us at the burial in Game on Saturday. To be frank with you, I have a very long story to tell about Magoha because, as you know, I probably am one of the very few people who are privileged to work with Magoha very closely for about 7 years, 6.5, 7 years in government. Your Excellency, you may recall that sometime in November 2015, when you moved us around, I woke up in the Ministry of Education with all its troubles at that time. The whole story will be in my memoirs when they're published. But I remember that phone call at midnight when you asked me, "Umesikia yale nimefanya?" I said, "Yes, sir. Takueleza kesho what I want to do." I was in Mombasa sorting out Waitiki because I was acting Minister for Lands then. Anyway, long story short, when I came to Nairobi, you spelled out what you wanted done. Then we started the work of putting together a system that would help remake our education sector. Then in around January, February, you appointed Professor Magoha as the chairperson of the Kenya National Examination Council. And I remember that memorable Saturday morning, as though it happened yesterday, when you rounded us up, together with my peers then, Belio Kipsang, Nancy Masharia, Secretary TSC, Professor Magoha, and myself. And you spelled out clearly what you wanted done. You said, must bring an end to examination cheating in this country. My colleagues know what we go through during those situations. Because you said, mwache ujinga wa kusa mutiani hapo. And you said this year, it is not going to happen. Ama mutafute injingine. Then that was the clarion call or order that we needed, which led to the formation of an amazing fraternity in government during some of my happiest days in this life. We teamed up, as you directed then, with CS Musheru, then CS ICT, my brother, the late Joseph Kaiseri, the CS for Interior. And you imposed a very punishing schedule on us. I'm now saying that after I've left the government, but you imposed a very punishing schedule on us, wanting updates on a fortnight basis of what we were doing to address the mess in the education sector. And We worked slavishly but very happily because you outlined specific results you wanted and all those wonderful people. And may the Lord bless the late Joseph Nkaiseri and now my brother, Professor Magoha. I have never been happier and I've never worked with such wonderful people. From the Kenyan School of Leadership in Mount Kenya, where we went that time with Joe Musheru, Joseph Nkaiseri, and Magoha to meet with the DCCs and the education directors as you instructed us. We spent time there in the cold trying to build a system of collaboration between the Ministry of Interior and the Ministry of Education to manage exams to make sure we sort this out. Professor Magoha was so committed that he actually traveled to Uganda himself, because when we were looking at various systems around and we thought we could borrow a leaf from here, borrow a leaf from there, and so on, that which was close, he was so committed that he traveled himself. He said he doesn't want hearsay. He came here, he brought the report together with a critique on what we would do and change the whole thing. And we had a very enjoyable time doing a hard but pleasurable task of remaking the education sector. And through all that time, because even when more changes happened in government, I ended up in the Ministry of Interior, you insisted that we will not dismantle the tripartite partnership between the Ministry of ICT, Interior, and the Ministry of Education. As Professor Magoha himself liked to put it, we are joined at the hip. And so we must work together all the time. We spent long hours meeting all those wonderful Kenyans, and God has blessed us with wonderful people, called district commissioners, county commissioners, regional directors of education, and all those people. Every day repeating to them that what President Kenyatta wants is ABCD, because Professor Magoha said, we serve at the pleasure of number one, and our job is to outline his vision and ensure that it's delivered. All the tasks you gave at the Ministry of Education, and let me say here without fear of contradiction, because we live in a country where people are so dishonest, they love lies, they behave as if there was nothing happening yesterday, they are lecturing us now about things they think they are new. If Professor Magoha had not served as the Minister of Education, Your Excellency, your plan for NEMIS, the National Education Information Management System, will not have worked. And let nobody take credit for this. This was President Kenyatta's plan together with the World Bank, and that's how we got to where we are, the data and the Minister of Education. Your plan on expansion of school infrastructure through 20,000 classrooms would never have worked. Your reform of the school bursary system would never have worked. The school desks program, I remember when you demanded of us that we move money to the villages and get carpenters in every village and have the desks done in the villages. Then you told Professor Magoha and myself, you don't want a story, you want results. And we sat, at some point, even some of our senior officers were trying to be a little bit smart, where they would cut corners. Joe helps us get a hold of Safaricom and the data from there for M-Pesa and payment. And we're able to move money on the digital platform very easily, across villages in the country. And many, many things that were done to remake the education sector in this country because of the commitment and the work and partnership that we did together. Professor Magoha was the turbo engine, and my colleagues can bear me out. Professor is the one who charged the room. Every time we were in the room, he's the one who supplied the energy. He was always vibrant and he wanted things to be done. And so, as one of our colleagues, CS Rachel Mamo, said the other day when we met, she said this, and